So, today we're going to talk about something that could totally change how you think about your teaching career, a professional development map that actually puts you in the driver's seat. Okay, so if you're a teacher, you know the deal with continuing professional development or CPD. But let's be honest, with all the requirements and all the options out there, trying to figure out where to put your energy can feel, well, pretty overwhelming. But what if you didn't have to just guess? Imagine having a clear, practical map for your entire professional journey, one that helps you see the terrain and lets you choose your own path. All right, so let's get into it. This map we're talking about, it's the British Council's Continuing Professional Development Framework for Teachers. And look, it's not just some academic paper. It's a super practical tool designed to help you understand, plan, and organize your development, no matter where you are in your career. And boom, here it is. This is the map itself. Just take a second to look at the structure. At its heart, this whole framework is about promoting really high-quality teaching and supporting you as a lifelong learner. Every one of these segments and rings represents a different area and stage of your professional growth, and we're about to break it all down. Okay, so first things first, let's explore the different regions on this map. The entire framework is built around 11 key professional practices. Think of them as the different territories of expertise you can explore on your teaching journey. The first bunch of practices are all about what informs your decisions. This is kind of the foundation. It's about looking around you and looking inside. So understanding your specific school or classroom context, really getting to know your students as individuals, and also thinking about your own professional identity, like who are you as a teacher and who are you trying to become? Next up, we've got the core teaching processes. This is the stuff you do every single day, the real craft of teaching, planning lessons and courses that actually make sense and build on each other, managing the classroom, whether that's a room full of kids or a Zoom call, and of course, assessing learning to figure out what's actually sticking. And finally, we have what the framework calls cross-cutting practices. And if you look at the visual, you can see why. These are the essential modern skills that basically weave through everything else you do. They're not separate subjects, they're like a lens you put on all your teaching. We're talking about using tech effectively, making sure your classroom is inclusive for everyone, leveraging multilingual approaches, and building those all-important 21st century skills, not just for your students, but for you too. Okay, so we've seen the what, those 11 practices on the map. But now let's talk about the how. How do you actually move forward in any of these areas? Well, the framework gives us 4 really clear stages of development. And it's a super intuitive journey, actually. You start at awareness. You've basically just heard of an idea. Then you get to understanding, where you get why it's a big deal. From there, you hit engagement, where you're starting to actually use it with some confidence. And the final goal is integration, where that practice just becomes a natural, consistent part of how you teach. It's just what you do. Now, this is so important to get. This whole journey is not a straight line. It's not a ladder you just climb once. You can be at different stages for different things all at the same time. A brand new teacher who came from the tech world might already be at the integration stage with digital tools. Meanwhile, a really experienced teacher might find themselves right back at awareness if they're suddenly asked to teach a fully online course for the first time. It's all about context. So this all sounds great in theory, right? But how does it actually work in a real classroom? Let's walk through a practical example from the source material to see how you could use this map to navigate a real teaching challenge. This quote really nails the whole philosophy here. You can start anywhere on the framework, depending on the areas you wish to develop at a particular point in time. See? It's not a test you have to pass in order. You are in the driver's seat. You start where it makes sense for you. All right, so here's our real-world scenario. You've got a learner in your class who has dyslexia, and you want to make sure that they're able to participate fully and equitably in every single lesson. So you pull out your map. Right away, you can identify your starting points. The most obvious places to begin are understanding my learners and using inclusive practices. This is where you're going to focus your energy first. And this is where the map gets really cool. As you start digging into those 2 areas, you realize they're connected to everything else. To really support that student, you'll need to deepen your subject knowledge by researching dyslexia. You'll have to adapt your lesson planning. You'll need to manage the lesson differently by adjusting your materials. And you'll have to rethink how you're assessing their learning. See? One single challenge sends you on this rich, interconnected journey all across the map. So you can see this framework isn't just some PDF you download and forget about. It's a living, breathing tool that can guide you through your entire career. The adventure is literally yours for the making. So let's just quickly recap the 3 big ideas from our map. First, it's personal. You pick your own path based on what you need. Second, it's flexible. These practices are all connected, it's not some rigid checklist. And third, it's a tool for lifelong learning. This thing is just as useful on your first day of teaching as it is on your last. And that really brings us to the end. So, just take one more look at this map of professional practices. The only question left is, where is your journey going to take you next?